What's going on, YouTubers? East New York's finest, hosted by the exhausted Mike. So, the last more than a couple, the last 5 or 7 or so videos have been of me talking about making a deal with Toy Federation to me actually winding up there doing a deal with Ryan. They'll be coming out with their own video. Again, that's Toy Federation on YouTube up here, and of course, if you're watching this video, you know that I'm East New York's finest. I about to say I forgot what I was gonna say. I'm exhausted. It's ironic too because at this time yesterday, I was literally exactly at this time at 12:21 a.m. yesterday morning. Today is Wednesday. Obviously, it's Wednesday morning. August 26th. So the 25th of Tuesday, August 25th of 2026, we were on our way coming back from, I'm about to say South Dakota, from South Carolina, from Greer, South Carolina. We stopped off at this delicious Italian restaurant, which is ironic considering when you think of the South, you think of authentic food should be Southern food. A lot of these southern restaurants have closed down, or they don't exist, and then the ones that were pretty decent, they were either closed down permanently or they were closed on Mondays and Tuesdays, which kind of sucks, but it is what it is. Like I said, we got to Ryan and Toy Federation, I think approximately around 11, a little after 11 on Monday. 11 a.m. on Monday. And we were, shooting the breeze, and I think we were in the store for close to 3 or more hours. I know we wound up hitting the road after 5, so of course, and we made a couple of stops, restroom stops and things of that nature. And I had to drive back. My sister was in the Navy, so she drove convoy and all that stuff as well. So I know she could have handled the trailer. Isaiah didn't bring his fucking license with him, so he wasn't no help driving. But my sister was kind of tired, and her hand was hurting her, so I just drove the almost 7 hours. It's not 6. It's more. I think it's like 6 hours and 47 minutes from where she lives at in Virginia to Greer, South Carolina. I really was hoping it was north for a lot of reasons. One, north is closer to Virginia by 4 or so hours than south, and being that my mother's family is from North Carolina, you couldn't tell me, but my being pig-headed, hard-headed, and just thinking North Carolina wasn't making it no better. Obviously, we found out Saturday morning when we were on our way going, and then it just made it easier, more sensible, being that the cameraman was going to be available. He already had some things he had to take care of Saturday and Sunday. They're closed. So we were like, okay. So we know the plan was to go to my sister's Friday, spend the night, go to North Carolina. Then she wanted to drive with my youngest niece because my oldest niece is always doing stuff. And that didn't work out because, again, we found out it was another 4.5 hours in. And I was like, oh man. And then excuse me. Anyway, all the stars lined up perfectly for Monday. Monday it was, and yeah, here we are. Tuesday we got home. Me and Isaiah, we got here around 5:47, 5:50ish. I had to do our little adjustments. Say hi to Spike and the bird and the lizards, and made sure all 4 of my spiders are a-okay. I did feed everybody. Well, at least the lizards and spiders, they ate before we left. So I'll probably go tomorrow, pick up some more crickets for them. Of course, Spike eats every day and gets Walt every day, and the bird every 2 to 3 days, because birds constantly always eating. But he was really happy to see us as well. And it was cool though, man. It was a great experience, and of course, you see what I'm rocking. Bam. So Ryan did give me a shirt, and I wanted 7 more so I can distribute them out. So yeah, man. So of course I got one for Fam, Eric, and Alex, but his bigger sizes run $5 to $10 more than your normal sizes because he said they're bigger shirts. But I still got Fam, Eric, and Fam, Alex's shirt. Had to. And yeah, man. So obviously, here you have it. This was a trade. This was trade. Outside of the cash that I got. So I never heard of Present Toys, but he had a lot of 1/6 scale figures from Present Toys, and of course he had a lot of Hot Toys as well. Only thing he had from Hot Toys that I wanted, I can't say needed, was the 2.0 or the new Chewbacca. You guys mentioned me say. It's the new one that he's supposed to be the best looking Chewbacca they made, and he's basically like the Empire Strikes Back version, where C-3PO was blasted and he put him in a net. I don't know, is it Empire or is it the Return of the Jedi? I think it's Return of the Jedi, as a matter of fact, where C-3PO is in parts on the back of Chewie. So I did get that one. I took advantage of trade. Of course, I could have waited. But I love Toy Federation and Ryan and his people, but realistically, what are the chances of me driving back down there anytime soon? Slim to none. For me, it's 12 hours. I'm actually surprised I made it. It's been a long time since I've driven that. I mean, obviously it's been over a year, but of course, Eric and Alex did mass majority of the driving to Georgia, but we all kind of shared on the way driving back up, but that's still 12 hours both directions. Of course, a 2-day split. And the reason why I say 2-day split, well, obviously it was more than 2-day split for me because me and Isaiah, we left around afternoon. We got there. Yeah, we got to my sister's still on Friday night, almost like closer to like I think 11 or 12 or something like that. And obviously we wound up, chilling from Saturday and Sunday. And then early Monday morning we went to South Carolina. And that was another 6 hours. But then I drove back. So basically it was 12 hours. Well, I can't say that. It was almost 14. It was 13 and a half or something like that because it was 6 hours and like 47 minutes. I don't know why I keep saying 6 hours. So it was that in both directions. Fucking fell asleep behind the wheel 12 fucking times coming back. And my sister kept asking me, you want to drive? You want me to drive? And I was like, nah, I got it. And I nodded off. But we made it to the house. We got there exactly around 12:26 or something like that. Right before 12:30. Everybody went to sleep. Mother woke me up calling me at around 9:12ish. I finished with her on the phone. Took another shower, brushed my teeth. Me and Isaiah, said our goodbyes, and we were on the road by around 10 something. And we made a couple of stops. So between those stops, it probably shaved off like an hour and 15 or so minutes. So we wound up getting home exactly around 5:40 something or some shit like that. But anyway, you guys are not here to hear that. It's like over 9 minutes already. So 9 minutes of me just talking about jibber jabber. Hey, what's up, Haitian?
And you never called me. You got on my phone.
Oh shit! I forgot. No, 5 something. I forgot to tell you. I mean, I thought I did call you.
No.
Oh my god! I'm doing a video. What's up, Haitian? I'm so damn. We're tired.
I could imagine.
Yeah, I'm about to go to sleep.
Okay.
I just want to get this video out the way.
All right.
Yeah. Wow. I'm surprised you in already. Oh. Lord. Yeah, I'll be down in a minute. I'll be down maybe 10 minutes or 15. All right. Yeah, YouTubers. Yeah, that's my wife, the beautiful Haitian. So you guys saw my beautiful sister, my beautiful wife. You guys didn't see my beautiful daughter. She don't like being on. My wife normally doesn't either, but I guess she's just so happy to see my old ugly ass home because she really don't like being on video. And you know how women are, unless she's really dolled up. But you know, really happy to see me. But yeah, man. So I always like giving in-depth descriptions of everything, but of my verbalizations and whatnot. But this is basically everything I got. His prices are, he couldn't really do nothing with the prices. Yes, you guys are gonna look at the videos and be like, oh well, you gave him a great deal. Well, to be honest, he didn't have to take all the other shit, and he did, because he can use it. And at the same time, he has to make money. We already had a preset price, a price in stone that he kept his word, him and Travis, to the stuff that I mentioned numerous times in videos, like my G1 Transformers. Everything he took, everybody up here would have took for a quarter of. I came up with a real quick, hey, this is what I want price, and it wasn't including the and that price was decent, but it wasn't including the Battle Beast and the Panache Voltron stuff. He understood it. He could have been on some other shit, but he wasn't. He understood it and was like, all right, cool. They crunched the numbers and it's like, yeah, we can. I think we could come up with a deal. Me and Travis kept going back and forth, reaching out, and I gave him all the information he needed. I was happy it went to them because a lot of shops here in Jersey. Let me just say Ryan's a real cool guy, because I was gonna spaz and go in on a lot of stuff, including a lot of drama I had at Joe Fest. We were talking about that a little bit as well, but I'm not gonna get in depth with that. But he's a real cool guy, man, and I always like to mention to him, Travis, and everybody that I've had a couple of hiccups on saying certain things, not nothing derogatorily crazy and shit, but I have mentioned a couple of things like and I apologize for it. And he even actually was like, well, what, like he forgot, but we spoke a couple of times on it, and he was like, you know what, you gotta have tough skin in this business. He understood it, he respected it, and we moved on and forward from it, because it wasn't like it was something like really disrespectful to him or his people. If I don't know a group or individual that well, if I sometimes I go on your actions on what I see, but I can perceive things wrong like a lot of people do, which I did. And I'm always going to continue talking about that repetitively, because, some people are going to say, oh, that's hypocritical, or da-da-da. And, sometimes, regardless of what you're saying, how you feel about it, you can verbally say anything, and you can verbally talk to the fucking cows come home. But if somebody's going to have their own perception of what they feel and think it is what it is. So, that's why they say you should never try to reevaluate your thoughts to somebody else and things of that nature, because they're going to always think what they're going to think. And that's true. But anyhow, getting on to this stuff here. So, we did a deal. I love that. I thought it was a sideshow hand. It's like a hand throne. That like a hand throne of a sentinel. And the way he had it, like the way he had Magneto with one hand like this and kind of like leaning back, sitting. That shit was dope. And I thought the price was pretty good, considering. Hold on a second. Let me look at. I should have did this way. Let me look it up. What is it again? Present Toys. Present Toys Magneto. And it's and Ryan did say, all right. Oh, okay. So wow. Okay. So I think this is just the regular version. He has the deluxe. So the figure, or they call it a doll figurine. So they call it Mutant Man, deluxe version. So I only got it because it was really nice. Like it's really, really fucking nice. And Ryan did say that if there's ever a deluxe version of a figure, he prefer to get the deluxe versions over the regular versions. Well, this is definitely not that. I'm trying to look it up. I'm sorry, you guys. Just give me a sec. Oh, okay. Seems they took inspiration from this XM Studio statue. Now, see, the thing about XM Studios, it is like they are licensed to do this stuff, but the thing a lot of people don't understand is, all these companies. Let me tell you about the Chinese and Hong Kong and China, whatever you want to call it. Right? These people don't get paid a lot. There's no excuse to this. But, like, it's the same factory. The same fucking factory that does Sideshow and Hot Toys. Those are the same workers. They get they have the material. They have all the discs and everything that they made, you know what I'm saying, or to have a format to make these figures. So what they do is they get a band together. They have another part of the warehouse or factory or whatever. They have machines and shit at home. And they take material. And, they take schematics and all that shit. And they make their own shit. Then they come up with a smaller company. And then that company sells. And that's how they make their money. So they can't legally call it X-Men's Magneto or whatever. So that's probably why they call him Mutant Man. And that's how that works. So sometimes they'll use a crummy body, and sometimes the outfits and stuff won't be dead on to what Hot Toys or Sideshow will produce, because they spend, I can say they spend more money. They just have a better quality material that follows the guidelines to what Hot Toys and or Sideshow wants them to produce. It may be a little watered down because, these guys, they make a killing off these figures, but at the same time, they got to pay for the license, and they're going to get as close to the material to cost to get away with doing what they do. So at the same time, some of these other companies may use a decent head sculpt but a shitty body, or a decent body and kind of a crummy, weird material head, and they may have a decent outfit versus a better outfit that, or new Sideshow or Hot Toys is standard of making a figure. Like I heard a good, in art. I mean, there's a lot of companies that are doing things, guys I knew for 15 years, like One's Customs, and some of these guys that were doing what these companies are now doing. They were doing this 15 years ago, like implanting real hair, making like fucking top of the line. Like if you look at Sideshow's, Clint Eastwood's Western figures versus what One's Customs and some of the other guys did over 15 years ago, they shit is like, to this day, they stuff is still, I mean, because they made it with love. And you got people that paid $800 to $1,500 for these figures 10, 15 years ago. And if you put them next to what Sideshow put out, the quality and stuff is probably still better than what Sideshow put out. Now, you know what I'm saying? And that's basically where it's at. Only reason why I got that piece, because I thought it was dope. That, and I wanted to use all my credit because I know I'm not going to the show this September. And there's a I would say it's more of a 55% chance that I may not didn't go to his show in November. But again, that 45% can turn to 50. Which means it'll be 50-50, or it may turn 45-55 the other way, or 60-40 to go. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. I don't know where I'm going to be at then, and if I do go, there's a greater chance. If Eric and Alex don't go, there's a huge chance that I might just hop on an Amtrak and go. I might just go Friday and come back Sunday. You know what I'm saying? I might just go down there and say, fuck it, even if it's just for the experience. So, you know, I know I don't need much. And maybe by that time I can find some more stuff to take to sell to them and or trade to them and or somebody else. So again, like right now I'm 45, 55, more 45 of not going than 50. I mean, no, 45 going than 55 not going. Whatever the fuck. I'm so tired and confused here. I don't know. But anyway, this is the stuff that I have gotten. He did have the Beetlejuice last year at the show. But I wasn't really too sure that I wanted it. But then as time progressed, I was like, you know what? I should have gotten it. And even when I went to Antique Collectible Mall over in Livingston Mall, that's now shut down. I'm surprised they took this long to shut down. I knew that was going to happen. But Dave McMarrow, he is one of the owners of that store next to Macy's in the Livingston Mall. They've now been shut down or closed down for maybe 6-7 months or something like that now. But he had it, and I've seen it at a couple of shows and in a couple of other stores, and I was like, damn. And I was like, yo, the price is kind of, people want like $350, $380, and I think at that time Ryan was selling it for like $260 or something like that. Now it went up, I think $30 or $40. But again, it was all this stuff is in trade. So I didn't mind. I didn't come out of pocket. So first off, I did get this. I know Alex was looking for something. Alex already has this. But I decided to get it for myself though. And Larry Hama did sign it in 2015. And I believe this is one of two of Ryan from Toy Federation's cover artwork idea that he came up with for IDW, if I'm correct. For Slither. And I heard that this year at Comic Con in San Diego, they actually did a concert with a guy dressed like Zartan and shit too. So, but anyway, I decided to get it. It was $100, and I do have some books here that I got from Alex. He was looking for another book, but Ryan did say that he would keep it in mind. I did tell him that I'll probably wind up calling him Thursday or Friday to remind him of that. And he said if I need anything I need for my G.I. Joes or other stuff, just do like I did, just email and call him and let him know, or more or less email Travis and the guys, which I will do that. So outside of that, this guy was really expensive, but I know he is extremely Jackrabbit hard, and being that I didn't need him, and I did not want to come out of pocket, because I didn't come out of pocket, it was a trade. I wound up getting this, and I didn't get it for $800. I didn't get it for a steal, but he knocked off $100 for me. And this is the recalled Roadblock that I got from Ryan and Toy Federation. He could have knocked off $20, $40, hell, even 60. He knocked off 100 for me, and that was cool, and I appreciate that. So thank you, Ryan. Thank you, Andy, Travis, and Matt. Thank all you guys, and eBay man, I forgot his name. So I do thank everybody for their hospitality. Even the people that were coming to the store, very, very nice. Howdy, how you doing? Everybody, they look at you in your face and say hello. It was just a really cool experience. Was it worth the drive? Hell yeah. It's just something I would do every couple of months. More like once a year, if had to, and I had some crazy fire shit, and I wanted to move it, knowing that Ryan's a heavy hitter and he will buy. I could see it maybe twice a year doing that run. But the chances of me, I mean, it's been a long time since I hit a crazy pay dirt amount of toys and stuff in a storage unit. So, you know what I mean? And then this guy here, I had to call my daughter to see which one I had here. But I do have another one hanging up. But I know this guy with the broken crotch, I needed him, and that's funny. I think I did pay the price on this though. I don't think he did it. He did anything off of this one. He did have the right patch for it. As you see, it says C on it. you know, Andy makes sure he know he. I mean, he's his GI Joe guy, and as you see here, it's the same one, which is the one that my boy Dan, who does toy shows and stuff too. He had one, but I think he wound up selling it to somebody because he was somewhere else, and I forgot what the deal was, but the price he offered me, I forgot what it was, but I could have brought it then, but I didn't. And see, when you don't rush, I wound up getting it for free, but it didn't come out my pocket. And as you can see here, it is him. This is the C version. So now I have the C version with the patch, which is cool. And obviously I have, I think I have B and D. I found out doing a lot of research, there's no such thing as an E version of this. People think there is, but there isn't. I think there's only A through D. I think A, B, C, yeah. It's 4 of them. A, B, C, D. Yeah, I don't think there's no. A, B, C. Yeah, A, B, C, D. There is no E. So I believe this one is B. As you see, those little look like Nike swooshes on the side. So they had 2 of these, and then I think this is C. So I have B, C, and D. Now I need the real expensive, hard to find one, which is A. Of course, if he had it, I would have got it. They had nothing else there for me. Everything else that they had, I have. Vehicle-wise and everything, they didn't have any special vehicles or anything like that. Andy said, nah, everything is out. You know, like anytime they get that stuff in, it goes right out. You know, he said. And again, I have these right here, some Steel Brigade extra backpacks and weapons. I have another patch. I just don't know where the hell it's at. I have a patch for one of these guys. It's here somewhere. I just don't know where I placed it, but I do have it. It's here somewhere. I don't know. So that's all I got. G.I. Joe. I thought I was gonna come back with a lot more G.I. Joe stuff, or I thought it was gonna take money away from the cash deal we spoke on. So yeah, man, you know, this stuff wasn't cheap. So let me show you guys. So here from the Amazing Spider-Man, I never spoke about this because I was on a fence. I was like, hey, if I get it for a great deal or in a trade, I would get him. If not, no sweat off my, you know what. But it was involved in a trade, and this thing was $5 25. It is the Amazing Spider-Man Deluxe, and he comes with like the vein part of that tower when he was fighting Lizard. So he does come with that, because like I said, Ryan did tell me that whenever there's he'll buy a couple of them, because what he does is he takes, like, let's say for instance he'll buy 2 or 4 or whatever amount he'll buy of a figure from Hot Toys or whatever. He says he always takes one out, open it, and displays them, so that way people can see what they're buying, and it makes sense. So we got him here, and then we have another one I wanted from Spider-Man No Way Home. So I basically have almost all the Spider-Man No Way Home figures. This is $300. I did see this in a couple of other stores, and everybody wanted around $350 to almost $400 for him. I've even seen him at a couple of shows where a guy wanted, he said the best he'll do is like $370 on it, and I couldn't understand why the Electro is so expensive. For the Spider-Man No Way Home figure, which is Jamie Foxx. It is a really good likeness to Jamie Foxx. I don't know how many versions of, I don't know how many Electros they made. This may be the second one they made. I think they did make another one. They could have made 2. I don't know if this is the second or the third. I'm pretty confident it's not the 4th. I wouldn't say it's the first, but then again, I'm not that I'm not that well diversed on knowing information on 1/6 scale like I was 15 years ago. 15 years ago, I knew shit that my guys in Royal Collectibles didn't know. I was the one that put them on to stuff. To be honest, I'm one of the guys on why they have so much knowledge and why they carry hot toys. Just like I am that guy on why they got into toys in the first place. Not to toot my own horn, but Royal Collectibles were not buying. I was the first, like when they opened the second store, because they were on one corner and they basically did, Chuck and his father Charlie, they basically did sports stuff. They did everything sports, from sports cards to signed memorabilia. They did all that stuff. They didn't do I think they carried a couple of figures, but when they opened up a bigger store on Metropolitan Avenue back in like 90, I'll say maybe 96, somewhere around 96, 97. I was one of the first people to sell them action figures. And on top of that, I was the guy that used to do the displays and everything. So, yeah, I could definitely say that. Just like I was the guy that really got them into hot toys. Because as Chuck used to always say, he didn't have a market for it. And I hear that a lot amongst a lot of different toy store owners. And I'm like, yo, you got to make a market and have a market for everything. You can't just do vintage. You got to do everything. Because you're going to have people come in the store. They don't know or care about vintage. They may have it when they're a kid, but they want the newer version of it. And if you can't supply it, they'll go to Target or Walmart or eBay to find it. You know what I mean? So why not, start off small. Then if it works out for you, it works out for you. If it doesn't, it doesn't. You know what I'm saying? But to each his own. And then, of course, and this is cool, too, because Sideshow actually made this they made his case like a VHS tape. It says comedy right here. Even with the little piece of sticker ruined. That's kind of cool. And it says Sideshow 1/6 scale. Sideshow presents Beetlejuice. The name and laughter from the hereafter. And, of course, you have Gina Davis. Michael Keaton. And then, of course, Alec Baldwin. And again, right on the side, that kind of looks like the tape itself. So this is kind of cool. A nice homage to the VHS tape. And then here we have the new 2.0 T1000. He had 400 on this. I don't even know what this thing goes for. And he couldn't do a good deal on this stuff. Because he said, I buy this stuff and I don't make much on it. I've heard that thousands of times from every dealer. So I know they don't know each other, and I get it. I hear from everybody. And they're like, listen, I don't make much on that. I mean, my margin is like almost nothing. You know what I mean? I won't charge you tax, but I got this, that, or third on it. And I get it. And it is a nice looking figure. He did have the Present Company ones, which was like about 40 to 45. Now I'd say 40% cheaper than this, because he has 400 on this. And the other one comes with two bodies and two figures. But when I saw the outfit looks a little cheesy on both of them. And they look a little shorter, and the outfits look too baggy. I didn't like them. They look like something that came out in the late 90s, early 2000s when people first started getting used to kit bashing. I didn't like them. I thought the head sculpts were nice, but that was it. Same thing with the Ghostbusters. When they had the Ghostbusters at $250 each, I thought they were the Blitzway, and I thought he just had them loose. But then when I found out they were Pleasant Company, I looked at them and they had a really nice head sculpts. But I didn't like the uniforms. The uniforms are like too cheesy. Because I've seen Blitzway in my hand. And of course, if I never seen them, I would have took the 4 of them. But being that I've seen how the outfits look, and the emblem, like the Ghostbuster insignia, it looked too cheap. like it didn't really look that much different than what Manny Collectible or any other. Like it looked like something Kenner would do, like a better version of Kenner. You understand what I'm saying? So I was like, it's not for me. So I grabbed this obviously because I have a nice Terminator thing over there, and I do have a T1000, but he's in. He came with a deluxe another figure. I think I got from my boy Leland, Filipino dude I know named Leland. He gave it. I think him or his boy gave it to me for a good deal at a show. I think last year or something like that. And it was like a deluxe because it came with the T1000, kind of like in that pre-molded stance. But I don't have a T1000. I had him years ago, but I don't have one. So now I'll have him to be able to put over here in this section. And then of course I just spoke about this Spider-Man. I'll leave everything here. I'll probably go through this stuff maybe sometime tomorrow or the day after. It's time to get ready to go take another shower and brush my teeth, spend some time with the wife, and go to sleep. Because I am extremely exhausted. And I took a 45-minute to hour nap when I got home in my massage chair. But I am exhausted because, like I said, when I woke up at my sister's house from speaking to my mom, me and Isaiah got ourselves dressed, wet and ready, and I drove the 6 hours back up here. So basically, I did have a break, but it's like a 12-hour, almost back-to-back drive. So I am extremely exhausted, still tired. And then of course, this right here is the that's a deluxe. That is the Star Wars Chewbacca and C-3PO two-piece set. And it's funny too because my connection, I have a real decent connection in Forbidden Planet in Manhattan. Saskia, beautiful young lady. I knew her for a long time, and I always got discounts from them. I used to get a real good discount from Mike, who was one of the owners of he was one of the owners of Forbidden Planet, but of course he passed away. I know that ripped Saskia really hard because she loved him and he loved her. She was more like not just a manager and employee there, but more of a daughter to him. And me and her speak about it all the time, but sometimes she get emotional talking about him. But she was gonna try to hold one for me, but she knew that they weren't getting that many, and the ones that they were getting, only one was gonna be available to the store, and I think that one got grabbed up. So she never reached out to me. I know she would have if she had something. So unfortunately, didn't happen. But again, I didn't have to go in my pocket. So there it is. And if I'm not mistaken, I think my video when I was up here talked about the Toy Federation thing, I said, there are a couple of Star Wars figures that I want to get, which would be that Chewbacca, and of course we all know I should have been got it. I could have and should have been got that Count Dooku, but trust me, in the next upcoming weeks, I will be getting Count Dooku. I'm just gonna go ahead and say fuck it and just buy him and get it over with, because of all the shit I've purchased over since the last 4 years. Because my brother passed away in 2021, and every time I was going to New York every day, helping my mother with the funeral arrangements and other stuff. I kept talking about fucking Count Dooku, and it's 2026 now, almost getting ready to get into 2027. So I want to make sure I get that my Christopher Lee Count Dooku figure. And of course, do I have? Oh, I already have Yoda. So I don't think there's. Oh yeah, I do want the regular Star Wars bun, like the bun thing, Princess Leia. And I don't know, I might want to get Greedo as well, and a Tusken Raider. I would like to get a Tusken Raider, and like 2 stormtroopers, 2 regular white stormtroopers, not the clone troopers and none of that, just the 2 regular stormtroopers. I would like to get those as well. But again, I will take my time on it, and I do have to get my hands on the '89 Jack Nicholson Joker and the regular '89 Michael Keaton Batman. I do have the Batman Returns one, but I do want to get that the regular '89 Keaton Batman because I like he's more his insignia is more yellow than it is copper. So I do want to get my hands on that as well, and the Christopher Reeve, what's his name again? Brandon Roth, the guy from Superman Returns. I want that. I had that before. It's not like woo, but I do want it because I did like that movie. So I want that one. I want the Christopher Reeve. I would like to get the evil version of him as well as the regular version where he comes in that big emblemed case. But that shit is crazy money. And I've had him 3 times. I've sold him and bought him like 3 damn times. But I would like to get those. And of course I want to get the what is his name, David Corset or something like that, the guy who played in the new Superman movie, because I did like that movie. I don't like that. I know I was gonna like Supergirl. I never even seen it, so I wouldn't get that unless it's like 100 or under 140 bucks. I would get it just to get it. But I do want to get my hands on those as well. I want to get my hands on the Mondo Skeletor, and I'll be done with that. And of course the Mondo Mumra and Lionel. When and if that comes out, because I have the Mondo He-Man, so I would like to get the Skeletor to go with him. And of course, what would be better? I mean, if I could just get Lionel, and Mumra, if they come out with them, I'll be fine with that. But that's my plan, man. I am going to continue with the 1/6 scale, and worst case scenario, I'll probably have to take. Depending on how much stuff I get, I might have to just start taking the boxes back downstairs and putting them back in bins to make more room for other figures. If it comes to that, it comes to that. So this Saturday, hopefully I would set up at the flea market. It'll be the first Saturday that the Meadowlands has been open. So I got to call and take care of some stuff with that. I'll probably do that tomorrow. And hopefully I can get 1 or 2 storage units before that, because with what I have, worst case scenario, I'll just take what I have. But I would like to go with a full truck of shit. You know what I mean? If I could. And then of course up here it says DP3, which means Deadpool 3, which is the 3rd Deadpool movie, which is basically called Deadpool and Wolverine, because Deadpool and Deadpool 2 had Cable in it. I wasn't really a fan of that movie too much. That's why I got rid of the Deadpools I had and that Cable, because again, I wasn't really a fan of it. I like Cable in his original X-Men themed outfit, and I got that stuff from Ivan for a good price, but I wound up selling it later, which I'm glad I got rid of him. And I got rid of him because I knew I was gonna sooner or later I was gonna get the Deadpool movie Deadpool, but who would have ever known that I was gonna wind up paying $200 for him and both of those Guardians of the Galaxy group figures. No boxes, but hey, Deadpool came with what he came with. No baby, but still came with what he came with. And of course, one of the groups came with their name stand, the other one didn't. But hey, again, for $200 fucking bucks for 3 Hot Toys. Exactly. You know what I mean? And but again, this is the Blade. I mean, I love Wesley Snipes and I love Blade. Again, I wasn't really that much of a fan of how he looked because he's older now and stuff like that. But when I saw that shit in the showcase, and they had it next to the other Blade, but the other Blade they had was another Present Toys Blade. At first, I thought it was a Hot Toys Blade. I'm not gonna lie, but it's been so long since I've seen a Hot Toys one, and Travis was like, well, these are Pleasant Toys. I'm like, what the hell is Pleasant Toys? And I was like, what? But I was like, well, I know that's a Hot Toy. He said, yeah. I said, all right, so give me that one then, because the head sculpt was beautiful on it. I mean, he looks just like they took him right off the movie. There's only one Blade, and there's ever only gonna be one Blade. So got that. And that's it. So the only thing from Pleasant Company, or Pleasant Toys I got was the Magneto with the Magneto with his throne. Where am I gonna put it? I have the faintest idea, but it's still pretty dope as hell anyway. So yeah. So I gotta take all this shit out the boxes, find somewhere to put them all, and call it a day. Oh man, it's gonna be fun, but it's gonna be a pain in the ass. So yeah, man, I'm sorry that I'm all over the place here. The video is a lot longer than I thought it was gonna be, but still a lot shorter than what I anticipated it to be. So I'm gonna end this video. And yep. So fam, Eric and Alex, I got y'all shirts. Shut up, cause I already know Alex is saying something stupid right now. I already know that nigga, man. But yeah, man. So started off this journey in Friday and wound up ending it in on a Tuesday. So I'm about to go. This video should be loading up. Peace out, y'all. Thanks for watching. Thanks for the support. Thanks for the subs. And please like, sub, and share. And again, you know, keep an eye out. I don't know when I didn't even ask Ryan when it's going to be aired. I don't know if it's going to be aired before the September show or after. I should have asked him that, but just keep an eye out. You'll see it when you see it. But yeah, man, thanks for watching and thanks for the support and for the new comments if there are any. Peace out. Aye.